Guys, welcome to a very special podcast of Raw Focus. Spotlight is what I'm calling it. It might have a different name later, but we are focusing on small local businesses, especially in the Reno, Tahoe, Carson, Sparks area, which is Reno area if you guys want to know. We just filmed a Facebook Live with Krysta B. Jackson, who owns Sugar Love in Reno. My intro is very short on this, guys, but of course, subscribe, comment, rate, whatever you guys can do for this podcast, help push it up. But more importantly, please, please, please shop local. Help these small business owners who are self-employed, who are forced to be closed and have no real support. Sugar Love is located downtown Reno. You can find her at sugarlovechocolates.com. And she's doing online ordering specials right now, but really, really amazing, delicious, higher end chocolate is what she calls it. Chocolate meant to be savored and great as gifts, not your M&Ms that you just pop in your mouth and forget about. So these chocolates are, they'll sit on your tongue. They do tastings. They sit on your tongue and they go through different flavor profiles, kind of like wine drinking, but, less drunk. But Chris is amazing. She really knows her stuff. She really knows her stuff. And that's kind of what I like about small business owners, right? You don't really walk into let's say a C's Candy, and sorry to call it C's Candy, but walk into C's Candy and ask them questions and they may not know what their chocolate's made out of or how it works, where you can go to Sugar Love in downtown Reno at the old post office below West Elm and ask them how it's made, why the flavor profiles are, what it's doing, and go through that process and really kind of love and understand what you're consuming and putting in your mouth. I am very excited as well that she has a vegan option. She has naturally vegan chocolate. She listed like 5 or 6, and they're not made vegan. They're just naturally vegan, which is amazing because I can't really go to the store and get vegan options as well. So this was a really fun, shorter episode of Raw Focus. Listen to Krysta talk, help out if you can, or if you guys know of her business, I'd love to hear some of your favorite chocolates that she's done for you. And that's it. So guys, without further ado, here's Krysta B. Jackson of Sugar Love. Hey, how are you?
Good. How about you?
Good. Where are you at?
Home.
Sweet. How's everything going?
Better years. How about you?
No, I know. I think it's like the same thing with everybody, right? We're all just like waiting, just trying to figure it out.
Time has become like not a real concept for me.
Mm-hmm. I'm the same way. Like if I wasn't doing these podcasts, like I have no idea, like I wouldn't have showered or anything because I'm done with like client stuff at this point.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, I don't know. So hopefully this helps me get up, get dressed, get showered, and work through everything. So thank you for doing this.
Yeah, no problem. Again, it was a good reason to get showered, except for I remembered like 10 minutes ago. So
we have a little bit of time. Well, thanks for remembering. I know it's it's just everybody. I think it's we have no concept of time or anything right now, but these are fun. So this one's I've been doing an hour ones, but these ones are a little quicker. So these ones are more of a focus on your business. I want to do as much for like the small business community as I can. And so anything I can push out for people to know what you're doing, what you're about is really all I care about.
Right.
So you're going to use this platform to pimp yourself out as much as you can. This will end up going on a podcast, YouTube, but of course, Facebook Live, so we can share it and post it and put a little you into everything.
Mascara in a week, and apparently I just...
Yeah? I remember
how to use it.
In like, oh God, had to be like senior year, we did powder puff. And
powder.
They had to do like our makeup. And I remember like I couldn't like keep my eye from moving. And I see like my girls do it now. They're just like, just like that. And I'm like, dude, I can't do anything. I don't know how this is like a normal thing for you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you have any questions before we get started?
What are the general kind of questions are you going to ask?
So you know what? It's going to be a conversation between me and you.
Okay.
So I have they're general questions, but basically I want you to treat me as somebody that has no idea what you've done or what you're doing. So I'm going to ask you questions, like how you got your name, how long you've been in business, where you're at, what are you guys doing in Corona? I kind of went through the Sugar Love's Facebook page, and then your page as well, just to kind of see what's going on. So I know you're doing a ton of stuff with the community, your taco plates, just stuff like that. So really that's all I want to know. I just want to know about you. I want this personality to come into the business, because we say the word small business all the time, and I think that just says so much that people don't really understand what that means, like how it's affecting us through everything. So, and then of course, any like specials you have going on. I know you have the 30% off gift certificates going on right now as well. So we'll let people know about that. But I just want us to talk as we're normal people. Even though it's on live, we're not really focused on the live part. It's just here so I can document it. But then it's also an instant gratification of being able to put you out there.
And then what type of people, like what is your intended audience? Is it other business owners, or is it just general
anybody public? I mean, general public. Okay. So I really want this to be for you to get people to come to you. Okay. So that's like, is that a cat?
Yeah, this is Button.
I just see a tail.
She's like, hello, I have to be included.
Hi, Button. Yeah, you see like this tail. Yeah. Tail, like right here.
She'll sit down eventually, but if I'm in this chair, I have to have her on my lap. Apparently, that's the rules.
That's all right. That's all right.
I just provide the food and follow the rules.
As you should. I'm gonna tag you here, Krysta. How do you say your? Is it so? When you say your name, is it
Krysta B. Jackson?
Okay, it's B, right? Mm-hmm. All right. How do we say? I want to say B. Are you still doing comedy?
No, I haven't done stand-up in a while. My last show was October 18, and I completely bombed. It was horrific. I mean, it was horrific.
Aren't you supposed to bomb, though? Isn't that like how
occasionally.
Right.
But this one was really bad. And at one point, it was like an audience of probably like 80 people. And at one point, I heard a couple towards the back laugh, and I was like, oh, finally someone. And then I look up, and she's showing him something on her phone. So they weren't even laughing at what I was saying.
Where do you do this at?
That one was at Arrow Creek.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was a paid show. So luckily they paid me before I went on.
Oh my God. So I've always like people like, Jeremy, you're so funny. You should do stand up. And in my mind, I'm like cringing. I'm like, no. Like, I think that's a different kind of funny.
It's a totally different skill set. Yeah. Because you have to control everything.
Right. Well, and like theoretically nobody's talking back to you, and oh my God. But I listen to a ton of like comedy podcasts and everything, and I feel like I'm like, I could do it, but then I don't want to do it. And it just makes me nervous thinking about it right now. Yeah. Cool. So I'm going to go live, and then we're just going to chat, but we'll have some fun. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Don't worry about the cat. We'll keep it
she's
live.
Not done with her presence.
Hey guys, welcome back to Raw Focus. I know we just did a podcast, so you guys are watching it. So thank you so much for coming back. We're doing something a little different today. We are focusing on small businesses, and this is kind of my startup with the whole thing. So we have Krysta B. Jackson on here, who owns Sugar Love. And if you guys don't know or haven't heard of Sugar Love, well, shame on you. She has a pretty good Facebook following here that I see. And her business is actually in one of the coolest buildings in Reno, inside of the old post office, downtown Reno. And she has this really cool open space that I love. So every time I walk in there, I see it, and it's amazing. And of course, I think, what is it, Sugar Love Chocolates or Sugar Love?
I call it Sugar Love, but the official name is Sugar Love Chocolates.
Okay. So your focus is chocolates, because what I remember, and I know you've expanded into things, but I remember these cute little chocolate molds that you would make when you were over, when your business was starting over at One Kitchen. One World Kitchen, yeah. One World Kitchen. So I remember seeing those molds when I would do some shoots there. And I was always like, that's how it's done. It's so cool. But I know since you've upgraded and everything, but thank you so much for joining us. How's your day going?
Pretty good. Like I was mentioning in their little before talk, time does not mean anything anymore. So that's been an interesting change in my life, considering I'm used to working, 6-7 days a week. And now I'm forced to just garden for hours, which isn't the worst.
Garden, right? Is your business the type of business that has to get up at like baker status? Is it like 4 in the morning?
No, okay. Thank goodness. I love baking, but I don't think I'd ever do that if that was my life.
So how did you, so let's talk about your business. So this Raw Focus is a little bit different. It's a spotlight on your business. So all we're really going to talk about is what you do, how we can help you, what you do for the community, and how people can find you. So hopefully people that are watching this have a new business to kind of rock to. So tell me about Sugar Love. Where did it come from?
Well, Sugar Love, I actually started working in chocolate, gosh, 13 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's been a long
I know, right?
time.
Time flies. Well, I started shooting like
No,
12 years
16 years
ago.
ago. No,
Yeah,
I'm
so you were
sorry. It was
starting.
2004 that I started in chocolate.
Hmm.
And totally by happenstance, I was working full time, living off campus, going to UNR for my undergrad. And the place that I worked, which most of my employees don't know anymore, is Sam Goody. And so,
Oh my,
surprise, the CD store,
yes.
yeah, it closed.
I totally forgot about Sam Goody.
Right? People do,
Oh,
yeah.
oh
Um,
my God.
but I got laid off in January, and I had rent to pay by February. So
Right.
I think I applied at something like 68 places, just trying to get some job. And it's January; everybody's laying people off; they're not hiring in retail.
Right.
And so I just happened along this chocolate store that was between what used to be Borders, again, aging myself,
Right.
and what is that? Bed Bath and Beyond. And
Right.
so she was like, "Yeah, it's almost Valentine's Day. Get in here." And I started the next day. And so I just really started it as a job to pay bills, and
So you
retail
had
is
like
retail.
no background in chocolate or baking or
No,
anything, right?
I grew up in my mom's commercial kitchen. She had a small
Oh,
like a
cool.
deli quick order type. So I was used to cooking, but I didn't think I wanted that as a career, because the more time I worked in restaurants, I was like, I don't want this lifestyle. I don't want to have to work till midnight, never
Right.
have a holiday off. There's some
Yeah.
bad habits that chefs tend to get when they
Yeah.
work.
Yes, I agree. I remember that, and when I used to do food stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So that was the nice thing about chocolate, was it was this combination of cooking something for people to, physically enjoy, right?
Right.
Women, when they tend to like chocolates, they do the head tilt. Men do the eyebrow raise, and so getting that visceral reaction from people, but still being able to close up shop at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night and going home.
Right. Well, and everybody loves chocolate, and I think like what you do, even with the little chocolates, it's like it's enough that people can just pop it in their mouth and not feel guilty about having like a whole cake or something.
Yes.
And then also, I'm a fan of variety, so I'm a fan of like I'm one of those people that will open up like a box of chocolates and there's nothing I won't like in it.
Hmm.
Whereas some people are like, oh, coconut, and I'm like, no, 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 like I'll eat everything, just put it in my mouth.
Yeah, yeah,
So you started your business; it was just you, right?
yeah. Yeah.
And
So it was 2015, and I
right,
was getting to the point where I was like, I think I really want to do this. So I started buying some small pieces of equipment. My first machine did a pound. I think it was like a pound and a quarter. It wasn't even a full pound and a half. The first machine held of chocolate at a time, and I just happened
wow,
to. I'm on Reddit a lot. I've like a redditor as a total
yeah,
nerd, and I'm not telling you my handle, but anyway, though, there was in the food subreddit, someone had posted a picture, and it was like definitely upvote begging, right? They're like, I post my chocolates and they never get any love, or something like that. And they had,
right,
if you look through their history, which a lot of people do once someone says something like that, they had posted the same picture like 20 times in the last 4 weeks. And each time it got like 100 upvotes, which is actually kind of good for a common post on Reddit at the time.
right.
Um, and the chocolate looked like shit. And so I
Oh,
was like, what? You're proud of that? And you're begging for upvotes? And so what I ended up doing is I took a picture of the chocolates I had just made that day, and I threw it on the R Food, and I said, I've never posted a picture of my chocolates, so you've never been able to give them love, or something like that.
right.
And I went off and did stand-up comedy and got off stage, and I had all these messages from my friends, and they're like, man, that's so great, you did so awesome. And I was like, this is an open mic that no one's at. Why are you texting
What are you
me?
talking about? Right.
Yeah, and I had made it to the front page of Reddit.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So
I don't go on Reddit, but like, how do you have to have a certain amount of like comments or likes or something for that to happen?
yeah, it's the different upvotes, right? So if somebody likes the image, they'll upvote it, that type of thing. So I ended up having something like 2.6 million people see the image, and people,
Holy.
yeah, exactly. It was like viral when viral was a good thing, not during
Right.
this
Right.
current times.
Right.
But I mean, people were asking me, how do I order this? And I was like, I'm just making stuff at home for funsies.
Right.
And so I think it was within a week, I had the website going, and I could, was
So you
gathering
decided then
emails
that
and
you're like, I mean, there's no way for you to order, but let me figure out how to make this a business.
yeah,
Are you an entrepreneur by spirit? I mean, is this kind
yeah,
of your thing? All right.
yeah. I've
That's
been
not what people do.
self-employed since 2009. So
Awesome. I know. Well, it's great, until now.
yeah.
All us self-employed people. That's amazing. So 2015, so we're 5 years in the game.
Mhm.
I thought it was a lot longer from your success and what you do and all that stuff. So that's
Well, thank you.
amazing. Yeah, no, totally. But like I said, I know very little about people, which is hence why I started this whole podcast thing. So you started in a joint commercial kitchen making your stuff. How did you find people to sell to, or was it all online, or did you have a good local base that you would like drop chocolates off it? How does that work?
There's a couple different strategies people could use to start a company like this. I really focused on online first, just because I had that Reddit following.
Right.
Like there's a secret club for people who get into the front page. It's not that secret because there's a lot of people in there, but my tag is even the chocolatier. So like I'm kind of like the chocolatier of Reddit now.
Right.
Even though
That's
there are
awesome.
millions of wonderful chocolatiers out there. But anyway, so I really focus on online and then opening up my own retail spot. Um, Chocolate tends to be a spur of the moment purchase. Unless it's a holiday, you're not looking for it, right? So you
Right.
need to kind of like fall. It's called fall in location. Like you need to be in a mall, or you need to be right next to a really busy intersection of people, so that way they can be like,
Oh,
"Oh, I want some chocolate. Oh, that sounds
right.
good." Because you don't usually wake up in the morning and go, I think I'm gonna spend $20 on
Yeah.
chocolate today.
I got to go to the store and get just chocolate today.
Yeah, yeah.
That makes sense.
So when I heard about, it was 2015 felt like total kismet. Like again, I had just started playing with the idea. The Reddit thing happened, and then I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks later, I heard about the basement. And I was like, oh, it's going to be basically an underground hipster mall.
Right.
That's perfect for my brand. Is
Right.
the fact that it's all these makers and it's all local. And again, it's kind of that fallen location. Like maybe they're not coming to see me, maybe they're going to the barber or the coffee shop, but
And then they
here I
happen to
am.
see you, and then they'll grab it while we, and which is how I
Yeah.
actually saw you there, and actually how I bought chocolate from you there. You
Mhm.
weren't there, so I think you had an employee there or something. But I was like, oh, I'm gonna go buy chocolate for my kids. So we sat there and we sat at the tables and ate it.
Yeah.
Um, it's a great location. It's super cool. I admit I haven't been there in like 3 months or something. I got kicked out for doing a photo shoot there one time, and so I haven't been back. But it's one of those locations where you're like, I can't believe this is here in Reno. But I love your setup too, because your setup's kind of an open plan. I think you
Mm.
have kind of like a little office in the back that you kind of built.
No, that's
Um,
the kitchen. It's just kitchen
it's
back.
all kitchen. Okay. It's
Yeah,
hidden.
you're
I
looking
don't
at
know.
the
It's right there.
office, which is at home.
Right. Right. Yeah, like all of us, right? This is office.
Yeah.
We shoot everywhere else.
Yeah.
So how is business before Corona hit? Because then we're gonna get into Corona and what you're doing
Yeah. Yeah. In the before times. Just what I like to say a lot right now.
in the before times.
I was very excited. So I totally bootstrapped this company. I did end up getting a $20,000 loan from the city through a grant application that they had,
Awesome.
which was, yeah, it was amazing. But that's the only thing I got besides all of my payroll and savings for the last 4 or 5 years.
Right.
And this year was the first year where it was like, okay, it's paying all of its bills, it's paying off its own debt. The money I'm earning through like accounting or selling or farm fresh eggs or something like that was starting to become my own money again instead of just Sugar Love's money.
Right.
I was really excited because 2019 over 2018, we had a 19% growth year over year for our sales.
Nice.
And then this year we were, before March, we had done 18% growth year over year. So that was even more impressive to me, right?
Right.
Because I already had that 19%. So that was so excited. I was so
Yeah.
excited. And then I started to notice a downhill in March in our sales. And March 10th, I did a year over year, and we were down 37% in 10 days.
Wow.
So it was, oh, this is real. At that point, I decided to start closing 2 days a week to kind of
And this is before they made you close, right?
correct. Yeah, yeah. I was a trendsetter. Um, I so I decided to close Monday, Tuesdays because those are traditionally our slower days. And then Tuesday, I was looking at the weekend sales, and realizing that they were like a good weekday, where Saturdays
Right.
traditionally are
Where
best
Saturdays
day.
are your like busy day, and that's where you
Yeah.
rely on.
Yeah. And it was like, oh, that's a good Thursday. Like, that's not a
Right.
Saturday day. And so I realized it was costing me more to be open all days. So I decided on Tuesday morning, afternoonish to close, and then Sisolak announced that evening that we had to close.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was bizarre. And for us, chocolate as an industry, not only do we rely on those fallen, happenstance customers, but we highly rely on holidays.
Right.
So the big one being Christmas. We do about 30 some odd percent of our sales in a year within the last 6 weeks of the year.
Oh my God.
Just because chocolate's the gift that fits, and we do lots
Right.
of corporate gifting and things like that. So for us, Easter and Mother's Day carry us through all the way until November, and we had to be
Wow.
closed.
Right.
And I have
So,
a So we had, I mean, I was able to do some online sales, and our customers were amazing and supporting for us. But
but it wasn't the same as being open, right?
yeah, it
Exactly.
was it was painful.
I know it's frustrating because we're asked to be closed, and I feel like all my podcasts get to this point where we're asked to be closed, but we're not getting help. And then if we do open, we're going to get fined and we're going to get in trouble. And
Mhm.
so we don't know where we're standing at right now. I know it's probably frustrating for you as well. Have you transitioned, or have you moved over to more online sales, or have you modified your business at all just in case this keeps going? What have you done?
Yeah, so I've been looking at a lot of research, like polling and stuff like that of the American public, what they're going to do. Are they going to go back to restaurants? Are they going to go through, back to aimless wandering around in stores and shopping? And I don't think so. And I think this recession is going to hit us very hard. Um,
Right.
26 million people being laid off is not a quick switch and everyone's back to work.
Right.
So I am definitely modifying a lot about our business. One of the things I did like a think group with a 1 million cups, which is the local
Yep.
organization that I run. We use me as a guinea pig. We're going to change up our weekly offering a little bit. And basically it's a think tank for how to pivot your model, right?
Right.
Normally 1 million cups is like, here's my business idea, whatever. And then the
It's like
audience
a
gives
Shark
feedback.
Tanky, isn't it?
No, not at all. Because there's no
Oh, okay.
investors in the room. There's not really hard
Oh,
questions.
okay.
It's more like getting the solo entrepreneur out of their garage and talking to other people.
Okay. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a great organization, but during these times, we usually meet weekly in person, about 50
Right.
people. Obviously, that's not happening. And then not only that, most entrepreneurs are not starting new projects necessarily. They're
Right.
trying to figure out how to save their baby, right? They're trying to figure out how to pivot or change their current model. So hopefully we'll be able to start doing that soon on a weekly basis. But anyway, I was the test pig or guinea
Mhm.
pig for the software we're going to be using. And one of the things that people came up with is like, I would love to send a care gift package to a variety of people, but I don't want to spend my normal prices, right? Because I'm very high end chocolate.
Mhm.
So a box of chocolates, 15 pieces plus shipping is going to cost you about $40.
Right.
And not only that, with the heat coming up,
Oh, yeah.
now we can't ship chocolate affordably. No one wants to pay $40 in just shipping costs. So I'm going to come up with these little care packages that are heat safe items, like our caramels, which are how we got the name Sugar
Oh,
Love.
cool.
And
Right.
our newest product is almond brittle. So things that are chocolate based, but are still confections that we make. And
Right.
they'll be a little bit more affordable too. So then it'll be like a set care package. So then you can just pick that care package without needing to go like, oh, I should get marshmallows in it, and I should do this, I should do that.
So it's an easier way to shop, right? It's just you
Yeah.
pick what you need, and then that way you can even prepare them or get that ready, especially what you need. Has that
Yeah.
gone live yet?
No, it hasn't. So we actually have the store completely closed, even to online sales, right now until May 1st.
Okay.
The team is going to be going back to work starting next Wednesday, so
Okay.
we can start doing stuff. Because again, Mother's Day is coming up, and we have to
Right.
do at least online shipping to survive the summer months.
So right now, I know that when I went to your Facebook page, you guys are selling gift certificates for 30% off. Is that still going?
Yeah.
And is that just any dollar amount? They just contact you, and then it's just something for them to buy in the future, right?
Yeah, the idea is with any of our local shops, right? If you're doing gift cards, is not to use the gift card right away, because that's
Right.
defeating the purpose, right? Is the
Right.
idea is to help the cash flow for the small business. So we did the 30% off. We've done that once or twice before, usually in terms of fundraising, like when I was getting into the new space from our old
Of
space, we did
course.
that. And then again, I think we did it when we got our new piece of equipment. But it's just a way for the Sugarloaf fans to help support us during this time.
Right.
At this point, if you had asked me 2 weeks ago, I probably would have been a lot more pessimistic. But at this point, I think I've gotten to the acceptance
I think
part
we're all,
of,
we're all sitting there now. Like we've been sitting at home for 5 weeks, not doing anything. And I don't even know how to use a camera anymore at this point, but good. Well, yeah. So I definitely want to tell people that they can get that. Yeah. And same thing, guys. I mean, of course you can use these gift certificates whenever, but the goal of this is to sustain us while we're down. So have it, use it later on, maybe go in and check some stuff out. Of course, if you use it, purchase more on top of it. So there's actually more on top of it. I myself am selling a ton of gift certificates, and I'm super nervous that when I do sell these gift certificates, or when they do redeem, they're all redeeming at once. And all of a sudden, like I'm too busy to make any money. So it freaks me out a little bit. Krysta, what do you guys tell me about your product line? Tell me about what you guys make. And I know that like you, for the Easter thing, you made a bunch of Easter bunnies that people picked up, which was super cool. So you don't just make tiny chocolates, right? I mean, you make caramels. What is it that you guys do?
Yeah. So when I first started the company, I very much had the idea of a Southern French chocolate shop, which is how I fell in love with chocolate. Yes, I worked for years in a chocolate store here, but it was very American style, and not quite what I do. But when I studied abroad in France, I was like, this is chocolate. Like, this is beautiful. Like, you eat with your eyes, you have this whole aroma. Like, there's this one shop in Paris where the guy who hands you his chocolate is wearing a 3-piece suit. And it's this level of beauty that is just, but through the years, I realized not everybody wants that. Don't force everything, right? So we've slowly been adding more and more products as I kind of research and figure out how I want to do it. Like, so we added marshmallows. That's something people have wanted for a while. I personally don't really care for marshmallows. I don't eat a lot of sweet stuff, which is kind of a dirty secret.
Is it just straight? Oh, that's weird. That's really weird.
I know.
I don't eat it. But I guess that's like a bartender, right? Like, bartender will, work behind a bar, but they don't drink the whole time. You hope. So are these marshmallows like dipped in chocolate, or are they just like custom marshmallows that are different flavors?
So currently they're not dipped in chocolate just because it ends up kind of contaminating the rest of the chocolate. So you end up wasting a lot of chocolate. But what it is it's not extruded like a commercial marshmallow. So they actually, have air worked into them instead of just extruded. So it's a different texture, much more pillowy. And then my issue with them in the past is that they are too sweet. They they hurt your teeth. They're so sweet. Right? So ours, we actually cut a lot of what other companies would use corn syrup, and we're using a local honey. So it adds this different flavor profile. And again, it's not as sweet. It's still sweet. It's a marshmallow, right? But
that cavity feel.
Yeah. So, and then we just started doing an almond brittle. Same thing. There's this Mariani in California. They have some of the world's best almonds, and they're just right over the hill. And I'm actually large enough now to finally start ordering from them, because you have to order in 25, 50-pound packages of almonds, and they do go rancid. So,
oh my God.
They're just beautiful almonds, though, and they actually roast them on site. And so to add those to the brittle, it's just so good. So I could have done a peanut brittle from the beginning, but meh. You know what I mean? Like I want a special ingredient to make it worthwhile.
I love that. So, I mean, what I'm getting from your business is that it's not just this chocolate shop, that I go in everywhere and just see, like, it's not about consuming a bunch of chocolate. It's about kind of almost like the wine tasting of chocolate, right? Or like the cognac tasting. And so you're meant to eat a little bit at a time, but each one has its own flavor profile. I mean, even with the price point alone, you're going to be savoring each chocolate as it kind of comes through.
Hopefully, yeah. There's nothing that makes me cry more inside than when I see someone just like pop 3 in a row.
Right.
And I get that they're small and they're kind of, more bite size. I call them lady bites instead of regular bites. But they have so much flavor. Like the Urfa Biber is this beautiful Turkish chili, and it's sun dried during the day, and then at night they cover it and sweat it. So it gets this raisiny, prune, dark, like fruit flavor to it. It has a very mild, I say mild, my mom says medium in heat.
Right.
And it's a very long lasting flavor. Like our strawberry balsamic, like the flavor will come and go in maybe 5 seconds. I don't know.
Right.
I've never actually timed it. But like the Urfa will take 20 seconds to fully develop because it's spread on the fat instead of like the water. So it's getting all over your tongue. It's just this beautiful flavor. So when I see someone pop that and then pop in another flavor before they've
Just like,
experienced it,
you're right.
I'm like, why?
Which is like, I mean, they're eating it like M&Ms, right? They're just kind of used to that American commercial pop, 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 pop. And,
one strong flavor and it's done, right?
Right.
Like you're used to that. Like, oh, this is cognac, punch in the face with
Have
cognac.
you done like a tasting? Do you do stuff like that for chocolate?
Yeah.
I think that'd be freaking awesome.
Yeah, we do tastings. Last year we did only like 5 or 6. The plan was to have 10 this year, but events are not really a thing people are doing right now. But what we usually do is we pair with either a brewer or a distiller, or even a winery in the area or a sommelier, and we create like a lesson plan. So I usually, because I don't want to just do another tasting, so I had to give it kind of a Krysta B spin.
Right.
And part of it is I have been studying chocolate for 16 years, so I have
Right.
a stupid amount of knowledge. And like, so we did gender studies of chocolate, and like we had the 5 or 6 chocolates, and I taught you about gender studies of chocolate as you ate the chocolates and experienced the spirits.
What does that mean? Like guys like different chocolates, or does something different to them?
It's okay. So
what am I supposed to be eating? What should I be giving my wife?
All of the chocolate is the answer.
All of the chocolates.
No, it's just interesting because when chocolate was in Mesoamerica, women potentially had chocolate twice in their entire life. The day they were married to increase fertility, and then the day they were sacrificed. So hopefully as a woman, you only had chocolate once in your life.
Right.
Then when it came over to Europe, it was actually the Jewish population that really became like the master chocolatiers because there were no guilds around it yet. At that point in Europe, you basically could not be Jewish to be a baker, right? You had to be Catholic, because they were all regulated by guilds, and that's how you became, again, a baker or a smith or anything like that. So because chocolate was so new, there wasn't a guild around it. So the Jewish population became craftsmen at it, right? Then the Moors pushed them out of Spain many times. They settled in southern France, and so that's where like the oldest, best chocolate in the world, dark chocolate, is from southern France, in my opinion.
That's
and then
awesome.
What was interesting about that is the Jewish population for a long time, if you were a woman, you did not cook outside of the home. You didn't cook for the public because once a month we're dirty. And so again, it became like men in France still, it's more common for a man to be a chocolatier than it is for a woman.
I mean, that's what I think of, right? I think of the French guy, white jacket, doing chocolate. That's exactly what I think of.
And then in the United States, it's the exact opposite. Almost every chocolatier is a woman. However, the most famous ones are like 4 dudes. So, I mean, not that there's not other guys out there that are chocolatiers, but it's just the disparity. It's just very interesting. England
interesting.
and America is much more. It's a woman's food. It's often, like, oh, she's PMSing, give her some chocolate or something like that. Like it's It's
even
very
like
odd.
old. God, what was it? Like in the 50s and 60s, chocolate was like a remedy for things, or it was like either a cure-all or then anti, right? So like, hey, I have something going on with my acne. You're eating too much chocolate, or I have something going on with my acne. Have some chocolate.
Yeah.
And
now everybody's about the percentages.
Right. This is just for me. Do you make anything that's vegan?
We do have a couple vegan. All of our dark chocolate bars are vegan, and so we have things like chipotle pepper, lavender, and dark chocolate. And then we have the roasted pecan gianduja and also our coconut truffle are both vegan. And neither of them are vegan to make something vegan. They're vegan because the recipe is beautiful by itself.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love it. I'm vegan. And I just want stuff, I just want I got excited because I heard that Thin Mints are vegan naturally, like the Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, the
And I'm like,
cookies. Okay,
oh
yeah, yeah.
snap, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, the
I was
Girl
thinking
Scout
the little
cookies.
Andes mints
Oh, you don't like
things.
those? Are you anti
Well,
those?
there's a lot of palm oil in it.
Right.
I
It's
grew up
probably
eating them. I
not.
love them, but no.
Right. No, yeah, yeah, I used to, well, restaurants. I used to work at a
Hmm.
steakhouse, Western Village Steakhouse, and that was what we gave everybody. So in the back we had like piles of them. So we
Yeah,
would just constantly eat them all the time. But that makes my teeth hurt. I was just thinking about it like, oh my God, that makes
yeah,
it hurt right there. Um, Now I know that you guys are big in the community as well, even during this time. I mean, even for your employees and all that. But what are you guys doing to kind of help the community? How are you kind of spending your time while you can't work right now?
yeah. So a lot of it has been checking in on the employees, just seeing how they're doing, if they were able to get benefits. Two of my employees were not able to get unemployment
Oh,
because they had been self-employed before coming to work for me, so they don't have enough quarters of
right.
unemployment. So actually just trying to send a little cash occasionally, like if we get a really big order and send a bit
Just
to
keep
all
them
the
going.
employees. Yeah, yeah. And the other day got a little creative and a little bit, I'll say a little bit crazy, just because I miss seeing them. They're my family, right?
Yeah,
These are the people I've chosen to have work with me, and I work with them
right.
way too much because I work too much. But I did little care packages. So I didn't tell them about it. Well, except for one employee because her address wasn't updated in our payroll
Right.
system. But what I did is I did a little taco kit. So there was everything to make tacos, including the seasoning, and I had pickled onions myself, so that went with them.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then one of my employees loves gin, so I picked out like a kind of higher end gin that even if she is, because we're all drinking right now, it seems like.
Right. Everybody is. America's up.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing is like we're all on a budget too. So even if you do like I love whiskey, but like I've just been having Evan Williams lately because it makes
Yeah, the day
Manhattan
go.
right away.
Right.
Um, but so to get something a little bit more of a luxury item, so I got a higher end gin for one, a higher end rum for the other because she loves rum, and then that night we all kind of made tacos and drank, and then texted back and forth for a couple hours. So just making sure that they're okay,
Right.
right? Like again, they're my family, so I'm so excited to go back next week and start working with them again. And
That's amazing. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you have a small business, but bringing anybody in, I don't have employees, so I don't know how that really feels. But also, if I had an employee and I couldn't pay them their normal thing, that's all I'd be focused on. So
yeah,
that's amazing that you're thinking of that. I mean, shoot, like American Family Insurance just sent me a check for $100 because less people are on the road. So I'm like, oh my God, like you guys don't have to do that, but thank you for doing that. I love this. So we have about 5 minutes left.
okay.
My final question to you before we pimp out your business a little bit more is, how can I help? How can we help your business? How can we help whatever with keeping you going through everything? And I know you're going to keep going. I know you're going to be, I know it's just a loophole and everything. We're just kind of stuck
Yeah.
here, but how can we help?
The biggest way to help is, I mean, gift cards are wonderful, but spreading the word is a lot better.
Mhm.
Again, we started online, so we're used to shipping. Mother's Day is our last big holiday. So if there's something that you see, sending it to your mom or maybe your sister who's now a new mom and you didn't get to celebrate, a baby shower with her or whatever it is, um, that's, I mean, that's again how things go viral, right? Like
Right.
you sending it to your mom loves it, then she thinks about my company the next time she's going to send something to somebody.
Right.
So that is I mean, that's the biggest way to do it. And since we're going to be opening up May 1st, you can check out the website and figure out what you love the most, and then, share it then, because that would, I mean, everyone's on Facebook right now. So if you share
Right.
it on Facebook, someone's going to see it and it might really help me.
When you guys open, are you going to have your normal, I mean, do you always have like a normal set of stuff that you make, or is it kind of a weekly, daily thing?
We have a normal like routine stuff that we make.
Right.
Because I have been the main chocolatier for the last 3 years and we've been growing this whole time, often things aren't in stock, right? So you fell in
Right.
love with the Urfa, you come in the next time, it's not in stock this time. So we always have something in stock, but it's just not always maybe the one thing you
Okay.
fell in love with. But we have about 30 some odd recipes of chocolate that we do. And then we have, of course, our toffee, our brittle, our chocolate bars, the marshmallows, the caramels. Those are all kind of the standard go-to items, but the chocolate itself is kind of a rotating stock. And then every once in a while, I'll get a wild hair and have to do something. During the fall, the Seckel
Right.
pears are in season, and they make the most beautiful spiced pear truffle. So we only have that while
Oh
Seckel
man.
pears are in season, which
Right.
is like 6 weeks. So
Holy
it's
crap.
it's so fun. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Eating food at its freshest and when it tastes the best is
Which is what we're supposed to do,
everything.
right? I think we're just all
Yeah.
kind of, I mean, we have refrigerators and freezers now that we were never meant to have. And
Well, and
um,
just a huge, huge global food infrastructure. It's kind of staggering to think
right.
about.
Right. Yeah. We can get strawberries anytime we want, which is, so I think about that stuff all the time, even just thinking food and all that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a little promotion here at the second, but Krysta, can you tell people how to find you? So you're on Facebook, obviously. Where else are you at?
Yeah, the website's probably the easiest. It's sugarlovechocolates.com. And even if you typo that and do Sugar Loves Chocolate, you'll still get to the website because I bought all the domains around.
Right.
And then, of course, we're on Instagram and Facebook. Those are the main areas. We are on Twitter technically too, but I'm not a big
I'm the same
tweet
way.
head.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, our handle on Instagram is Sugar Love Chocolates, and that's what our Facebook page is too.
Amazing. Hey, you should join TikTok. Have you been on TikTok?
Uh,
For
you're
the
like the
sugar.
fifth person to tell me this.
The weird thing is I joined like a month and like 2 months ago while I was in Vegas with my daughter, and she was always on it. And I was talking
Yeah.
to a photographer, and he does it for business, right? He just puts behind the scenes of his shoots, and he gets millions of views. And the ones that actually get a ton of views, I look at them all the time as people that cook. Like one lady will go up and she'll like just, put chicken here, put garlic here, blah, blah, blah. And in a minute you have like the meal. But like for you, just behind the scenes of like chocolate doing stuff and the new stuff,
Yeah.
it'd be amazing. And then, your comedy on the end, I'm sure, I mean, having that kind of naturally come out, you'll probably put that out too. But
Yeah.
no, I think it's a smart move, especially in the downtime. I would just look into it. So guys, I have tagged Sugar Love on this post. Feel free to give it a like, order through the website, go through there. I'm going to go on and see what I can do. Mother's Day is coming up. I forgot. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing for Mother's Day. So we'll
Yeah.
definitely get some stuff up. Everything is opening May 1st. I say quotes. I'm assuming everything's going to open. I plan on opening then as well. And because that's what I'm going to do. Krysta, go ahead and say bye to everybody on Facebook, but don't leave yet.
Bye.
Cool.
Thanks
Thank you guys
for
so much
tuning
for
in.
tuning in. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. All right. We're going to pop off. Cool. Thank you so much for doing it. How'd it go?
Yeah, pretty well.
Yeah, I know.
I
It's
think I hit everything. I always forget stuff.
I know. And this part's still recording, so the podcast will be on there, but the comments are on here and they'll actually keep coming through the next couple weeks or so. But it's just a way to kind of push forward. So hopefully this helps in some way and then kind of get you into people that maybe haven't heard of you or haven't been down there or bought you at the beginning. And then it's just one of those things we always have to keep. Right. I know. But yeah, you do really well on Facebook. I mean, you're constantly updating and promoting even on this downtime.
Yeah, they've definitely become more sparse. But I actually, my master's degree is in accounting. So I'd much rather tell you about this beautiful Excel sheet that I put together than do a TikTok video. But one of the tools, it was on Shopify, one of their like webinars said to create like a content calendar. So that way, so every Monday I get a thing that says today's up behind the scenes shot. Or every so it's like a little calendar reminder. And that's helped for me because so like right now I'm lucky if I'm posting once or twice a week, but I can still stay somewhat on theme because I've defined the 7 topics, right, that we're going to talk about. So there's behind the scenes, there's products, there's events, there's corporate, pictures with my face perform well. So occasionally I try to make sure there's a picture of my face somewhere.
Right.
And then Saturdays, because Sundays I don't do social media at all. I don't do computers as much as possible on Sundays. And then Saturday is the day where I take off of work, which has happened more up until this. But I do more like lifestyle, right? So then I promote other businesses that I love or, that type of thing.
Right. So did you create you created the spreadsheet yourself or was it like something that
it was just one of the tips that I pulled out of the webinar. And it was, again, kind of defining 2 or 3 like pillars of content.
Right.
One, of course, being about selling product. Not all 3, right? One of them is about creating product. And then from there, just splitting them out to the days. so yeah, so I took the 3 pillars, and then, there's 2 each day, and I kind of theme it. And so all I do is, 9:30 in the morning, I get a reminder like, hey, it's Saturday. It's supposed to be
That's
lifestyle.
really cool. That's unique. I mean, because I post every day, and
Mhm.
I just post like whatever is available. Like, I don't know, like I go through my Facebook and I just post just so people know that I'm there. But I've never actually thought of, um, like Monday's BTS, Tuesday's this.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, you
It's
know,
helped a lot for me because, again, even during the busy good times, I'm not posting every day. But if it pops up, I go like, okay, today I have to find something like this, or
right,
and it kind of makes me aware of it. And then if I don't come across it, oh well, I didn't post today. It's not a huge deal.
right.
But for me, oftentimes it's the creating content that, hey mom, um,
Hi,
so
mom.
it's the idea of like, what do I create? And I noticed what at one point I was posting all the time, but I think I only posted like a product page, a product where it's a viable post. I
Hmm.
had only done one in 30 days, and I was like, well, I mean, I should
Oh,
be selling somewhat. You know what I mean?
right,
So
right.
again, it's a reminder to be like, okay, occasionally you are a business and you have to post something for sale.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think I get stuck in those routes too. I start posting more about just pictures of like weddings or even like portraits or something, and I forget weddings, and I'm in wedding season, and somebody messages me and they're like, "Do you do weddings?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do all the
Yeah,
time. Like so many.
crazy. Yeah.
Look at me." So yeah, definitely that reminder is actually good. I'm gonna look into that or kind of play with it. I think that's kind of neat. But I'm just constantly posting. What are you doing the rest of the day?
I am doing egg deliveries. We have about 20. We have 28 chickens. And so
Nice.
a lot of people are having a hard time finding eggs, and then we have some
Yeah.
other clients that just like are fresh eggs because we
Right.
have 10 or 12 different breeds, so all the eggs look all different.
Oh, and you just kind of mix them together.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. That's awesome.
So,
Well,
and then
thank
I'll
you.
probably
Oh,
get really stoned and garden. That's
yeah. Where what do you smoke?
I actually can't because I have asthma, so I do
Yeah.
edibles.
You make
Um,
your own edibles?
no, I haven't yet.
Yeah.
I'm actually partnering with a CBD company though, so we'll be coming out with CBD chocolates soon enough. But
Ooh.
yeah, yeah, that one's really exciting. But no, they're just from the dispensary.
Yeah.
I had to get a delivery.
I shoot for Kind and Mint.
Okay.
Yeah, same with Chris. You know Chris. He does all your amazing stuff.
Oh,
Or did
Holman.
your amazing
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
used them in a while, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we're all in the same boat. Like we go through spurts of whatever, but I shot like all of like when Dorinda was doing the chocolates and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they still do them, but yeah, it was kind of fun experience. So we have a couple, but I've been taking a lot of gummies lately, and
Yeah.
then I have a few vape pens, but I don't use it as much as I thought I would or should or however.
Yeah, I
Also,
am a baby when it comes to it. Like they say
yeah,
10 milligrams is a dose, and I'm like eating a third of that.
right.
And I, had never really purchased it before. I was a girl. I had boobs. I didn't have to buy it when I was a teenager, and then I became responsible, so I didn't for a long time. And then
Right.
it was just like last year that I like giggled as like a crazy little girl when I bought it for the first time. But then to get a delivery, I had to order over $100.
Oh,
Um,
I didn't
and
know
so
that.
now
Yeah.
I am set for like months. I mean,
Yeah.
easily 6 months. I've never spent
And
this
there's
much.
there's nothing wrong with being a lightweight on it because you'll save money in the long term. When I'm
Yeah.
shooting for like the guys at like Mint, when we're there and we're on location, they actually have to take it while I'm shooting them, but we can't show consumption, but they have to take it.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, they're sitting there like, yeah, man, I can like do a whole like I can take 10 of these chocolates and that's when I'll feel something. And I'm sitting there like, that's
Yeah.
so expensive. And like, what are you doing? And
Yeah.
so there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I'd rather be a baby at it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. That I'll take like a hit of a vape pen and I'm like, I'm cool. Like I'm going to sleep forever.
Yeah.
Um,
PBS just got that much more interesting.
I know the focus. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. And I hope that
Yeah.
this pushes your way. If I'm going to go check you, I'm going to go buy some stuff. But if you need anything in the meantime or have something going on ever, I'm running this
Mhm.
podcast for a long time. So just let me know and then we'll get you on. And it'd be cool to even
Cool.
do one when the shop's open, like even a BTS or something, because I'm doing everything
That'd be
via
fun.
Zoom. So just something to push you out there. So if you're feeling like you need the opportunity or something's coming up or like a Mother's Day or, well, I guess later on Christmas and
Yeah.
all that, I'd love to use this platform to push you out.
That's awesome. Thank you. And thank you for
Sweet,
the
no
support
worries.
during this time. It's
Of
crazy
course.
times for everybody.
I know, right? Well, this is what I can do for the community because I'm all about freaking community of competition. So however I can help, I'm here.
Yeah. I'll invite
Sweet.
you to the next 1 million cups thing too. If we end
Please.
up doing the
I was,
virtual.
yeah, I was invited like years ago, and
Yeah.
I never went. Who was it? Zach was running it. Was that Zach?
Oh, Zachary Draper?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He
that
ran.
was.
So I was I helped organize for years, and then when I started Sugar Love, I had to stop. And then I started to get to the point where again I was having weekends off and what
Right.
they call a work-life balance, and very strange. And then that was right as Nathan DeGangi, who was the lead organizer, was stepping down. So
Oh,
I
sweet.
came back, and then I came back as the lead organizer.
Yeah,
Um,
I love the
I love it.
concept. I thought it was super cool. Yeah, I thought it was more of the Shark Tank thing, which made me
A lot of
nervous.
people
More
think
like,
that. Yeah.
yeah, because that's what I thought. I was like, I don't know how to tell you guys. I'm just a photographer, and I had Hatch at the time, so I had the studio coming up, and I was like, I don't
Yeah.
know how to ask for money. Like, I don't really want to ask for money. I just want to tell you guys about. So I'm happy
Yeah.
that it's more of the second part of what I thought.
Yeah, yeah, because no one has money. They're all entrepreneurs.
Right.
So
Right.
if they had money, they'd be spending it on their own idea.
Right. That's how it is. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you enjoy your day. You can
Okay, you
end the
too.
meeting whenever, and
Okay.
I'll talk to you next time.
All right, have a good one.
Bye.
If I remember how to end it. There it
It's in
is.
there somewhere. Yeah. See you later.
See ya.